Hi everyone, I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to share my 2011 faves and must-haves, and I was tagged by Rina, aka Scrapstress, and so this is my list. I actually did kind of two lists. One is my go-to or must-haves, and the other is favorites that I loved in 2011. So for my must-haves, and in no particular order, glossy accents. I love glossy accents. It's so great for adhering things that you normally can't adhere with a dry adhesive. This is great. My sticker maker is great for smaller embellishments that you want to adhere. My cork board and my piercer. I use this a lot for making holes for brads, and if I want to do some kind of faux sewing on the page, this works great. So I love that. So whenever I go to a crop or scrapping at home, these are things that I'm usually grabbing for. This is an embossing buddy. This is by Stampin' Up, and you take this and you rub it over the paper before you stamp, and it eliminates the static and moisture, and helps from the powder sticking to your embossing powder sticking to your papers. I love this thing. The Tim Holtz embossing ink. This is great when you're doing heat embossing. It's a really sticky ink pad, so you can tell mine has been used a lot. And of course, I think they have refills for these, but this is great. My Crocodile. I used to be really old school and use the hammer and eyelet setter, and I got one of these a couple years ago for Christmas from my husband, and I love it. It works awesome. So if you're still old school, which I doubt hardly anyone is anymore, I definitely recommend this. The little paint applicators and this little paint holder, I use this a lot. Saves, using your good plates or paper plates, and it washes up nice, and you can mix different colors, and these are just great. They're like 10 cents each, so when you're done with it, you can throw it out if you want. My glue gun. I know my glue gun's really ghetto, but it works, and I've had this glue gun probably 15 or 20 years, and it still works really well. So it isn't fancy schmancy, but it does the trick. I love my Tim Holtz ink pads, my mat, and my applicators. I'm always using these, and if you don't have the mat or the applicators for his inks, they kind of all go together. So my favorite colors are Vintage Photo, Old Paper, and tea dye. These are the three that I go to the most. Next on my list is craft paper. Seems like I'm always going for craft paper for some project, so I love the Recollections craft paper. My Tim Holtz scissors. I was kind of a latecomer to buying these. I used to use the Cutter Bee scissors, but I love these. These are the best scissors. Highly recommend these. My tiny attacher. This is just an awesome tool. It's great for attaching, ribbon onto tags and papers, and it's a great tool. My sanders from Basic Grey. I don't know if they carry these anymore, but I have a backup set too. I love these because they have the big wide sanders, and then they have the smaller, narrower ones to get into corners and stuff. It's great for your chipboard. And it just really finishes off your mini albums really nice. My Tim Holtz just paper distresser. This is the best paper distresser. I love this thing. My brayer. I use my brayer to, when I'm attaching paper to chipboard. Oh, that's my puppy in the background. She wants me to pick her up. Oh, these dogs. You know, I love her, but when I'm home by myself with her, she wants to play the whole time, and yeah, she's a lot of fun, but you forget how much mischief puppies get into. Yeah, so with my brayer, when I attach my paper to the chipboard, I put on a piece of scratch paper over top once I've got my paper on the chipboard, and then I use my brayer to smooth out the glue, and it just works phenomenal. I love it. And you can see I use it a lot. It's like nasty. My ATG gun. I love this thing. Thank you so much, Hazel. This has saved me so much adhesive. I used to just buy the little, I still buy them like when I go to card making class or whatever, because I find like for little projects, cards, I don't really need a huge ATG gun, so I still buy these, but I love this for bigger projects. I use it a ton. My Big Shot. This is the reason I joined Stampin' Up! When I joined, and I love my Big Shot, as you can see. I use it a lot. I need to invest in some new plates, but yeah, best investment I ever made. My punches. I don't do many projects without using my punches. These are some of my favorites. The scalloped edge one. I love the Stampin' Up! Ones. I love this Fiskars one, the crescent one. This one is a great one to have. This bird one is great. And I love this one as well. And then this one, I think, is my favorite Martha Stewart one that I've gotten so far. And oh, and then my final love that I have to have when I go to a co-op or if I'm scrapbooking at home is stamps. I love stamps. Oh, sorry. And I have tons of stamps. Like, this is just a small dent of the stamps that I have. These are some of my favorites. I love this journaling stamp. And I love these Hampton Art flip stamps. They have different, I have several of these. October Afternoon has some great stamps. I just got into some of the Unity stamps. They stamp really, really nice. I love this button stamp that I got from Paper Tray Ink, I believe it's from. Yeah, it's called Button Boutique. I made a card with this past year. This was a great stamp that I used this past year from the Butterfly collection. And then I love Close to My Heart stamps. I also really like Stampin' Up! Stamps. And then of course Tim Holtz. This one I used a lot. And then, of course, there's acrylic stamps, and then the pink paisley one, and then my Mind's Eye came out with some really beautiful stamps. And so that's my top 20 must-haves, and now I'm going to move on to my top 20 favorites of 2011. Be right back. And one of them was The Claudine Helmuth gesso. This works really, really well. I love this product. Also, I loved the Claudine Helmuth multi-medium. I prefer the matte over the gloss, but it's awesome adhesive, the multi-medium. Also on my list for 2011 were buttons. Buttons, charms, and beads. I collected a lot of antique buttons this year, and I just love them. They're so pretty to just look at, let alone use. And of course, beads. This is just a small sampling of the beads that I have got over the past year. I did a lot of charms, a lot of charm swaps, and a lot of stick pins too, stick pin swaps last year, and then charms. I love charms. So many different ones to choose from. So those were 3 things that were a must-have for me this year, or a favorite of mine this year. Also, a favorite was I Am Roses. Thank you, Rina, for introducing me to I Am Roses. I love them. My favorites are the cherry blossoms and the sprays, and then the R77s. I love them. Another favorite this year were trims and laces. These are just a small sampling of the really pretty ones that came out this year that I really liked. I love the tulle one, and then some more. I love the ruffled ones as well. And so that was another favorite this year. Mod Podge was something I tried this year and really liked, especially the paper Mod Podge. Love this stuff. Rina also introduced me to Folk Art Vintage White paint. I think this is about the 3rd bottle that I've gone through. I love this stuff. And then Lindsay Stamp Gang. I'm just new to this, but I've used it on a few things on my December daily, and I love the look of it. So I really like the Lindsay Stamp Gang. Rub and Buff is something that I used this year, and this past year, and I really liked the Rub and Buff. Archival ink pads were a fave of mine this past year. I especially like the sepia, black, jet black, and the coffee. Another favorite of mine this year for 2011 was altering items, such as the balsa boxes, cigar boxes, and then the little spools, wooden spools. The rosette die was another favorite for me. I'd like to get the other rosette die with the large rosette. I have one ordered from my local scrapbook store. Love this die. Anything Maya Road. So I just love Maya Road products. I especially love the stamp set and the chipboard pieces that go with this. That go with these chipboard pieces, the stamp set and that. The dress form and sewing items. Their banners, rulers, the calendar pieces, and the little number pieces. They just make great products, and they have some awesome products coming out this year. They have some dress form paper clips that I can't wait to get. Another favorite was washi tape and tissue tape. I used this quite a bit in some journals that I made for swaps, and I really love the look of it. I like working with it. So that's a definite favorite this year. And another one was dress forms, whether it's dress form stamps, there are so many pretty dress forms this year to choose from. Another dress form, or the dress form dies. I loved dress forms. They were a definite favorite. And then I think, let's see, what haven't I covered? Oh, my carousel, my spinner carousel. I love my carousel. That was one of my best purchases I made this year. And Pinterest was another favorite of mine for 2011. I love Pinterest. It's awesome. It's a real time waster, but just the inspiration you get from Pinterest is just phenomenal. And sorry, this is such a ghetto video. Oh, banners was another favorite of mine this past year. I used banners a lot in minis and cigar boxes that I did. I really love the look of banners. And finally, my last favorite, and probably the one thing I hoard more than anything, is paper. So like I was saying, paper is probably my most favorite thing, but the thing I hoard the most. My favorite paper lines are Cosmo Cricket and My Mind's Eye. I love their paper lines. And probably my all-time favorite is anything by October Afternoon. Yeah, so just, I love all kinds of paper, whether it's more vintage looking, you know, or more whimsical, fun paper, shabby chic paper. I just love it all. And I forgot to mention in my go-tos is YouTube. YouTube is definitely one of my go-tos, must-haves. I like to watch videos while I'm scrapbooking, and sometimes it's just as white noise, but it's also for inspiration. It's, you know, company while I'm scrapbooking, and I appreciate all my YouTube subscribers and the people that I've met through YouTube, and I enjoy YouTube. I don't enjoy all parts of YouTube, but that's another video. But I do appreciate the people that subscribe to my videos and comment on my videos. I really do appreciate that. Now, I just added something a little different to the end of my favorites. These are things that I hope will be my favorites for 2012. And I would love to get an AccuCut machine. That's kind of, you know, on my wish list, but hopefully that will come true. I would love to get one of those Insta cameras. They print off the little Polaroid pictures. A vintage typewriter is something that I hope will be one of my favorites for 2012. My sewing machine and my Cricut expression. I am bound to determine that those will be on my favorites for 2012. I am going to learn how to use those. It's my last scrapbooking thing I do. MFT dies, I hope to get more into those because they have some great dies and stamps. A cinch. I have a bind it all, but that thing gives me grief. Believe it or not, I don't have a scoreboard, so Martha Stewart's scoreboard is one of the things I'm hoping that will be a favorite of mine in 2012. And I'd also like to get Photoshop elements and a rotary trimmer to cut chipboard. And so now I'm going to tag some peeps to hopefully do a video of their faves or must-haves. And these are the people that I tagged. I tagged more than 5 because I'm not really sure if some of these people have done videos. I subscribe to all of them, but you know, maybe I missed a video, or I know a few of the people that I'm going to name haven't done a video in a long time, so that's why I'm going to name more than 5. So let's see, first on the list is Scrap Saturdays Monica, Kim from KISW 1980 on YouTube, Melanie One Sunflower Mel, Brigitte 10,000, Tracy, who's Mercy-tiara on YouTube, Yay Canuck, got a few Canucks on there, got I think 4 or 5 Canucks on my list, Vanessa Creations 24, and then Melody, you do a video now, One Angel Brat on YouTube, and Debbie, I know you haven't done a video in a long time either, so I hope you'll share your favorites, and Debbie is momsydr on YouTube. So I hope you guys will participate, and thanks everyone for watching. Sorry this was such a long video, but I had lots of faves and must-haves I wanted to share. So thanks everyone for watching. Have a great day, and bye for now.